My grandparents and their generation were not too different from light hair's parents and grandparents. The elderly Lakota of the 1850s, in the face of the white incursion and changes brought to them, were telling stories and reminding their children and grandchildren to remember the trails they had walked. Handcrafting a bow out of ash is almost a lost art for the Lakota. My grandfather taught me because his father, White Tail Feather, and second father, which is his stepfather, Henry Two Hawk, taught him to make bows and arrows. They learned it from their fathers and grandfathers. And the methods and process are the same as those that were taught to light hair, exactly the same. Each time I've had the opportunity to make a bow, a thought invariably passes through my mind. This is the way it has been done for hundreds of generations. I make my bows the same way Crazy Horse did. That is only one of the many connections I have with him as Lakota boys.
There's a great discussion somewhere in this book where they're talking about the elders and they're talking specifically about change. And they're like, hey, we used to use lances to hunt the buffalo before we came up with bows and arrows, and we transitioned over that. So we've got to be ready to change as things come along, and they give that historical example. And that's a struggle, isn't it? When we think of valued traditions that we have in our culture, like what do we strive to hold on to, and what do we let go of as we grow?
Yeah. And there's I don't remember if I'm going to cover this or not, but I'll bring it up right now. One of those same types of discussions, they're talking about there's a time when it's time to get on a new horse. And like the old horse isn't working anymore, you got to get on a new horse. And that's a good expression to keep in your mind, because you're riding that horse and it's starting to fade or it's not able to do its job anymore. You got to get on a new horse. Even though you're comfortable with your old horse, even though that old horse has been good to you, it's not going to work out anymore. You got to be ready to transition to the new horse.